going to jump right into this video file. Let's hope it works. It's about the peach dump cake with cream cheese. Hang on. It only goes to show you can modify dump cake. Now, there are lots and lots of versions of this dump cake. It is so easy to make. It isn't even funny, but most of them mention getting 2 or 3 cans of the filling, getting 13 by 9 pans. No. I wanted to do it in an 8 by 8, which is what's in front of you. And I also bought it with peach slices in heavy syrup. I didn't use the regular traditional peach pie filling, but all I cared about was getting the peaches in. I didn't necessarily need all the ooh and goo, but one can easily remedy that. And I even mentioned it on another video. And basically, you're just entering a tiny bit of cornstarch slurry, and then you put that together with that, and it'll give you that extra gooey thing. But just one regular can, let me get it, in fact, and show you the can that I used. It was this one, okay, of this company. And I'm trying to check the ounces on this. Hang on a second. What could it be? 15 ounces? Yeah, 15.25 ounces of this. Okay, just regular sliced peaches in heavy syrup. And it's so easy. So I sprayed non-stick, right? Then I put the peaches. Made 0 changes to that. I didn't add anything else, no other flavors, no nothing. I just wanted to taste it the way it is. Then I cut up some little bits of cream cheese. Many of them suggest whipped cream cheese. I took regular bar cream cheese, my favorite. I cut it up into the pats, like pats of butter type of thing. And I went all around the 8 by 8. I did half a box of French vanilla cake mix. Okay. That's what I used. And I'm a cinnamon person. So I let it bake at 350. This is an 8 by 8. I put it for 18 minutes. Maybe your preference would be 18 to 20, but I started to check it at 18, and it's the way I like it at 18. But I have an oven that goes pretty hot pretty fast. So with the crumble, it's going to be kind of pale because it's French vanilla. So not only do I happen to enjoy cinnamon, but the cinnamon gives it, added texture and color. Well, not so much texture, but color. I'm just grabbing a little spoon to show you how it turns out. Should have had a fork, but that would have been better. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. But later I'll taste it. All right. So the bottom line is that you could make this cake, not necessarily 13 by 9. You don't need 2 or 3 cans. You could do it 1 can. I defied all the rules for fun. And I didn't use traditional pie filling. I use regular canned peaches in heavy syrup. So there you go. I made it work. When you want to do something, you make it work. Am I right? Wow. Holy smokes. I'm going to come right back and talk to you. Whoa, too good. Okay, let me see if I could get me on a solo layout here. Let's see. I'm trying to... What could I do to get rid of this image? Hang on a second. I want to try to remove this. Hang on. Come on. No. Remove it from studio. That's what I'm trying to do. Hang on, folks. Okay. Whee! I did it. All right, let me jump in on this. By the way, I'm Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money and More with Jan channel. This happens to be a bonus upload. Hello, thank you so much. For months, weeks, whatever, it seems like months, but it's only been weeks. I've been bombarded looking at all of these different various dump cakes, and they look wonderful. And every one of them I commend. But My only situation is, do I necessarily want it in a 13 by 9? Sometimes I want to make something in an 8 by 8 or something similar to that. And I said, well, why don't I try with a half a box? What am I talking about? I'm talking about this peach dump cake that you just saw, okay? And it's so simple. What I did was I halved the box of the cake mix, okay? The other variation is that instead of 2 or 3 cans of pie filling, I went with 1 can of peaches, sliced peaches in heavy syrup. I spray the bottom with nonstick. I poured the peaches over that. Then when it comes to the cream cheese, instead of buying whipped cream cheese, someone else, a few people, too many to name, didn't do the whipped cream cheese way. They cut it into what resembled pats of butter. And that's what I did with a block of cream cheese, okay? You could soften it to make it easier. For me, it was easier just as firm. That's what I did. So I cut them in pats, put it over the peaches. Then what I did was I combined the half a box of the, baking mix, the French vanilla one, with some melted butter. And then I put that together into sort of like a crumble. And then I put it over. I also added a couple of more pats of butter on the top for good measure, not too many. I popped it in my oven at 350 degrees, okay? In my oven, I checked it at 18 minutes. I did a sample. I said, this looks reasonably good. Now, because I used French vanilla, it's going to look very, very white, the crumbs. I said, well, something's missing, and that's called cinnamon. So I happen to be a cinnamon person. Some areas got more cinnamon than others, but that's a great option. I happen to add that later on. But taste-wise, oh, you heard my natural reaction when I took a spoon and I went, oh, it was really, really good. Do I think the cream cheese is totally necessary? I don't know. I felt like it was nice, but I'm not quite sure if it was necessary. I mean, you could probably just do it without it, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. But that's just like my opinion. And it has a lot to do with your taste buds. Now, I've seen so many variations and wonderful variations of this. If you want your crumbs to be more crispy, I would have preferred mine to be maybe a little bit more crispy, but I don't want to deal with a broiler or anything like that. I just left it as such. It comes out as a light, gentle crumble. It is very reminiscent of a cobbler. Very reminiscent of a peach cobbler, in my opinion. But sort of like between a peach cobbler topping and, let's say, a soft cookie dough. Does that sound about right? But anyway, all the flavors together, amazing. I was super busy the day that I had baked that, which actually is today, which was earlier today, doing tons and tons of things. But because it's a dump cake and just done in layers, I can't tell you how easy it was to get an amazing dessert. And you don't have to break the bank. You don't always have to go for cans and cans and cans of. You don't have to add so many extra things unless you want to. But I wanted to scale it back. To me and for me, for example, that was just enough. I wanted to be able to taste the peaches and not so many other flavors. For me, this was absolutely perfect, and I totally recommend it. If you do make it in the 8x8, be mindful that you keep it in less time. Check at 18 minutes. Check your oven. Ovens vary. Okay, so check about 18 minutes. Keep an eyeball on it. Now, if you go the full way that other people do in the 13 by 9 pan, follow their instructions exactly. But for the 8x8, this worked for me. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you so much for being here. As always, I really appreciate everybody's time. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up. It helps out the channel. Have a great day. Now let's try this again. Click once. Let's see if we go off. Click twice. Let's see if we go